Hey kids! Thanks to Amazon Prime, we have a brand new adaptation of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, or as this movie should have been called, The War on Filmmaking. I would stop short of saying that this is the worst movie I've ever seen, but I would definitely say that this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Being vaporized by a Martian tripod or being drained of all my delicious blood by Martians would be preferable to sitting through this god-awful miscalculation of a film. Let's talk about it. War of the Worlds is a 2025 science fiction thriller from Amazon Prime starring master thespian Ice Cube. In it, Mr. Cube plays a government surveillance expert who invades the privacy of everyone he does and does not know. And I know what you're thinking, wow, we already hate this guy, and you're right, we do, but we have to root for him because that's what this movie needs us to do. Because aliens land on Earth and proceed to make the day pretty rotten for everybody in the vicinity. Are you ready for exciting special effects sequences and scenes of mass destruction guaranteed to make your heart race? Too bad! This is tantamount to a found footage movie, and I don't mean a good found footage movie. I mean one of those found footage movies where you're staring at somebody's computer screen the entire time. Do you remember that movie Unfriended? It's like that. Only stupid. If you've ever wondered what it's like to have your soul slowly vacuumed from your body out through your eyeballs, while Ice Cube practically collapses into a singularity of apathy over the course of 2 hours, then congratulations! War of the Worlds is exactly that experience. You know, I started streaming this Amazon original, expecting at the very least a semi-interesting sci-fi thriller, because after all, War of the Worlds is one of my favorite stories. Instead, I watched in horror as I witnessed the slow death of storytelling itself. This event is so traumatizing that I honestly think Amazon owes us all reparations for it. Let me start with Ice Cube, because, oh boy, if phoning it in were an Olympic sport, this man would have won gold, silver, and bronze simultaneously, all while yawning. I have seen more emotional commitment from someone ordering a cheeseburger at a McDonald's drive-thru at 3 a.m. Ice Cube spends the entire film staring blankly into the camera, with the expression of someone who probably just watched the 2025 version of War of the Worlds. There are scenes when he's supposed to be terrified of the alien invasion and witnessing the absolute horrors of this interstellar war. Stuff is exploding, children are dying, his own kids are lost and afoot, and he can't get to them because he's locked into his government eavesdropping building thingy. And the best he can manage is the occasional, damn. He's supposed to be terrified, but the only one who actually looked terrified was me, watching him butcher every line like he's being held at gunpoint and promised a paycheck if he gets through the script without vomiting. My kitty knows I'm upset. It's okay. The movie can't hurt me anymore. And speaking of the script, I've read middle school fan fiction written in crayon that had more coherent storytelling. This movie wants us with a straight face to root for a protagonist whose entire character arc violates the privacy of literally every human being he comes across and somehow still gets rewarded for it. Yes! This movie expects you to cheer for the guy who spies on his neighbors, hacks strangers' personal info using his hacking skills, and he steals cars, he invades more private moments than a stalker with a drone and a GoPro, and you think, oh, surely, the film is going to address that this is morally reprehensible. Not really. I mean, they kind of touch on it a little bit at the end, but mostly he's the hero by invading people's privacy. Yep, he's the hero. He's invading our privacy. Buy more Amazon Prime subscriptions. I mean, for goodness sakes, at one point in the movie, he hacks his daughter's computer, his own daughter's computer, to read her messages to her baby daddy. His grown daughter's computer. And the movie wants us to think that this is okay. This man belongs in jail. Make no mistake, this is not a film. It's basically a 2-hour commercial for Amazon Prime. They should have just called it Amazon Prime Saves the World. It's dressed up as art and has all the subtlety of a jackhammer in a nursing home. Here's a scene I really wish I was making this up. An alien literally pauses mid-invasion to ask if anyone has Amazon Prime because the galactic shipping rates are so much better. Okay, I made that up, but the world is literally saved thanks to an Amazon drone, and no, I honestly didn't make that part up, even though I kind of wish I did. This isn't satire, this is a studio exec's wet dream made manifest. What if War of the Worlds, but with more synergy, more brand mentions, and more reasons to shove a subscription service down your throat? It feels less like science fiction and more like you're being personally waterboarded by Jeff Bezos' marketing team. Now, the special effects, if you can even call them that. Oh, these effects looks like they were cobbled together by someone's nephew on a cracked copy of Windows 98 Movie Maker. The alien tripods, for example, they resemble rejected designs from a 2002 PS2 game. The explosions look like stock footage you get for free on any website. And there's one shot so bad, so cosmically awful, that I groaned out loud like I was passing a kidney stone, which would have been preferable than watching this movie because at least then I would have gotten rid of a kidney stone. Imagine a supposed world-ending alien spaceship that looks like someone duct taped a Roomba to a ceiling fan to make it look like GLaDOS from Portal. That's the level of visual splendor that we are dealing with in this particular movie. PlayStation 2 graphics on a Temu video stick budget. And don't get me started on the plot. I'm being dead serious. Don't get me started on the plot. You're going to get me started on the... Why did you get me started on the plot? This movie is full of plot holes. I mean, it's not even that they're riddled with plot holes. It's that the entire movie is built entirely out of plot holes. It's so bad that at one point the movie actually forgets that the aliens took out the world's collective air forces, or didn't forget it. It just hoped that we wouldn't notice because it needed them for that particular denouement. By the time the credits rolled, I half expected Alexa to pop up and ask if I'd like to continue watching more cinematic disasters for only $14.99 a month. Yes, you can also use the drone that saved the world. Every single performance in this movie, aside from Ice Cube sleepwalking through the script, feels like the actors were trying to outdo each other in a competition called Who Can Regret Signing This Contract More? The dialogue sounds like it was written by ChatGPT's evil twin after a 3-day bender on expired Four Loko. There are moments you can actually see the actor's soul screaming in agony, leaving their bodies mid-scene, as if they suddenly realized they could have been literally anywhere else. Flipping burgers, working real estate, working retail, living under a bridge and addicted to smack. And all those options would have been more dignified than being in the 2025 War of the Worlds movie. By the time the climax arrives, which is also just forehead-slappingly stupid by itself, landing with all the impact of a wet lot of used toilet paper smacking up against the window of your car. But I'll be honest, by that point I long stopped caring about the characters, the invasion, or humanity itself. This movie fails so completely, so catastrophically, that it doesn't just ruin War of the Worlds, it ruins movies as a concept. I turned it on expecting bad. I turned it off wondering if movies as a concept were a mistake. To sum it up, War of the Worlds isn't just bad. It is a cinematic black hole, a joyless, soulless, creatively bankrupt canker sore masquerading as entertainment. It is a war crime committed against audiences everywhere. A 2-hour ad you paid to watch. A corporate abomination that even its own aliens couldn't save. Ice Cube looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. The special effects are a dumpster fire. The writing is a crime scene. The moral compass of this movie is broken beyond repair. And if you hear someone say that this movie is good, check their basement because they're probably being held hostage by Amazon's marketing team. There are bad movies. There are terrible movies. And then there's War of the Worlds 2025. A movie so incompetent, so aggressively unwatchable that it's honestly just fascinating, and it makes you want to write a strongly worded letter to the very concept of cinema itself, apologizing for the great sin that humanity has committed against it. If I could give this movie negative stars, I would. Instead, I'll just leave this negative 1-star review and pray that this film is buried in a landfill next to all the unsold E.T. Atari cartridges, never to haunt mankind again. If this type of corporate-sponsored slop is the future of movies, when the aliens invade, we should all just lay down and let them finish. I honestly think humanity would be better off. And besides, no culture that created War of the Worlds 2025 should be allowed to continue. Do me a favor, don't watch this movie just because you want to know if it's as bad as I said it is. Just take my word for it. It is as bad as I said it is. And like, share, subscribe, comment, sacrifice a chicken, do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around, all that good stuff. Oh, and become a Patreon because I like money. And unlike Amazon, I'm actually going to put effort into, the YouTube videos that will encourage you to donate it to me. Until next time, be sure to join us next time. Wow, that was terrible, but still better written than War of the Worlds. Be sure to join us for another edition of What Jason Watches.